Hello and welcome back to the garage. I'm John. Who are you?
We're doing this in a while. I'm Kieran, obviously.
Oh yeah, that's Kieran. We've got a YouTube channel called Mech'It Better, but at the moment we are working with South Yorkshire Safe Roads Partnership on a series of videos designed at beginner motorcycle maintenance. So there's a whole bunch of these. We've done about 8, I think, so far, 7 or 8.
Sounds about right.
And there are more to come. But Kieran, tell us, what are we doing today?
Well, that clutch free play adjustment thing on your lever.
This thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, the clutch free play adjustment. From here on, we'll probably just call that clutch adjustment. Now, we've got a couple of bikes we've been working with. We've got the Honda CG125 behind us and the Suzuki Address 110. Now, the Suzuki has no clutch lever, so we're going to ignore that one for today and just concentrate on the Honda. So,
just double team that one.
Shall we get on it?
Why not?
Let's get on it. Let's start at the beginning. What is a clutch? Well, a clutch is quite a complicated thing, so we're not going to get too far into that. But it is basically a mechanism which allows you to engage or disengage the power from the engine to the rear wheel. And you would do that in order to change gear. So you disengage the power from the wheel, you change gear, and then you re-engage the power. And that process starts here at the lever and then goes down a cable to the engine and the clutch itself. But for our purposes, we're going to concentrate up here on the lever to start with. So let's have a look at that now.
Up at the handlebar, we've got your clutch lever. That pivots from this point here. And as we pull it, we can see the cable. Now this cable goes all the way down to the clutch, and at the opposite end then operates the clutch release arm. As we come off the cable, it then re-engages the power back to the wheel and we're off. So the first question then is, why would you need to adjust your clutch? Now over time that cable will stretch and it'll change how the bike feels and operates. So we can make small adjustments up at the handlebar or even bigger adjustments at the opposite end of the cable.
Hang on. Before we get into all that, let's have a look at what it could look like if it's incorrectly adjusted in the first place. So Kieran and I are going to make this one too loose and we'll see what effect that actually has. Here we are then. Here is a clutch lever that is incorrectly adjusted, and in this case it's far too loose. So as you can see, when Kieran pulls the lever, it's not effectively pulling the cable, which means the clutch is not disengaged. So if, for example, you were trying to change gear, that would be very hard to do. Or if you were stationary in traffic, there would still be power being sent to the wheel and you'd probably be crawling forwards. So that's what would happen if it was too loose. Let's have a look if it was too tight. As if by magic, we've now got a clutch lever that's incorrectly adjusted to be too tight. And what's happening is the cable is being pulled even though Kieran is not pulling the lever. So what's happening here is, as we are trying to pull away on our bike, the clutch is slightly disengaged, which means that the power is not effectively being sent to the rear wheels and you've got a lot of noise and not a lot of forward motion. And apart from that, you're going to knacker your clutch plates at the same time. Again, not ideal. So let's have a look now at how to adjust it correctly.
As a general rule, we're looking for a measurement of between 10 and 20 millimeters of free play from the end of the lever towards the handlebar before we get any pull on the cable. If we need to adjust that, we can start over here at this adjuster. To do that, we loosen off the lock nut, and to reduce the amount of free play, we wind the adjuster out. To increase the amount of free play, we wind it in. Then you secure the lock nut and make sure the gap between the adjuster and the lock nut are on opposite sides so the cable can't escape.
Now you will eventually get to a point where you've used up all the adjustment you have on the levers, and what you have to do at that point is adjust something down here. But before we do that, you need to wind the adjuster on the lever all the way into the lever itself and then get your spanners and join us down here. Here on the engine side of things then, we'll show you what's happening. It gets a little bit technical, so bear with us. The first thing to do is to show you this. So if Kieran pulls the clutch lever, you can see that moving. And we need to make our adjustment here where these two nuts are. Now I have already mentioned, but I will mention again, that before you make any adjustment here, you need to wind the adjuster on the lever all the way in. Now, once you've done that, you can release this lock nut, which is the smaller of these two nuts. Thanks, Kieran. Now I will do that with the power of my fingers because that's how strong I am. So I will release the lock nut. And if I want to decrease the amount of free play at the lever, I need to wind the larger of the two nuts in. and if I want more free play at the lever, then I need to wind that nut out. And in any case, what we're aiming at is the same 10 to 20 mil of free play at the lever that we were aiming at before. And once you've got that, you can tighten up your lock nut to meet the larger of the two nuts and consider your adjustment done. And all the minor adjustments, for a little while at least, can be done up at the lever end.
Okay, that's looking about right for our bike. Now over time you'll be able to make that adjustment by feel and to suit your own preference. If you are measuring though, check your manual to see that it's in spec for your bike. Now once you've used up all the adjustment at both ends of the cable, it's time to replace it.
If you find that you do need a new cable, all we will say at this point is go and have a chat with your local mechanic, because that is a whole different job for a whole another day. But if you have made some adjustments to your clutch, please make sure that you've tested those adjustments before you set off down the road. So there we are, that was how to adjust your clutch lever free play. This business here. Did you learn anything?
No chance. I know everything.
He does actually know everything anyway, but if you don't know everything anyway, don't forget that we've got a whole series of these videos on basic motorcycle maintenance right here on the South Yorkshire Safe Roads Partnership YouTube channel.
Now, if we've somehow raised more questions than we've answered, then please feel free to leave a comment below. So we've got plenty more videos to come, so we'll see you, hopefully, on the next one.
Ta-ra! Bye!